Hi, I'm Chad with Move for Guitar. This lesson is from our series Chords for Beginners. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to play an open Dadd9/F sharp. So here's a Dadd9/F sharp. And a slash chord just means that the root, the lowest note that you're playing is not the root of the chord. So this is a D chord, so the root is a D. But instead of playing the D as the lowest note, I'm throwing an F sharp in the bass right here on the 6th string. And that's why it's called a slash F sharp. But if you don't understand that, don't worry. It's just the reason it's called a slash chord. So anytime you see a slash chord, it's because the lowest note in that chord that you're playing is not the root note. But again, if you don't understand that, don't worry about it. It's just if you're ever curious about it. So there's multiple ways to finger this chord, and I'll show you how to do each one. I'll start with the way I just played it, which is this. And for this, you have to be able to reach your thumb up all the way to the 6th string and fret the 6th string 2nd fret and actually play that note with your thumb. And if your hands aren't big enough, or if that feels really uncomfortable to you, I'll show you another way to do it without your thumb. But if your hands are big enough and it doesn't hurt your hand, you can reach up and do that. So you play the 6th string with your thumb, like I mentioned, on the 2nd fret. And then you reach your 2nd finger down towards the floor to the 3rd string 2nd fret. And then you reach your 3rd finger down towards the floor to the 2nd string 3rd fret. It's like that. And with this one, you really have to reach your thumb over pretty far. Play the 6th string like I showed you. But you also have to reach all the way over and touch the 5th string so that you can mute it out. Because the 5th string is not in this chord. You want to keep that one from ringing out. So if that's uncomfortable to you, don't worry about it. Like I said, I'll show you another way to play this. So you play the 6th string, the 5th string is muted out. And if you're muting it out, you don't have to worry about hitting it when you're strumming. Then your 4th string is open. You're fretting the next 2 notes, and then your 1st string is open. And open strings just means that you don't fret them, you don't play the note, you don't push down on the string at all, but you still let those strings ring out. But like I said, if you mute out the 5th string, you can just strum through all the strings. So that's one way to play it. The next way is the exact same thing, except you switch your 2nd finger with your 1st finger. It might be a little more comfortable for you. So it'll be like this. So exact same thing as the last one, just switch your 1st finger with your 2nd finger. And then, like I said, I'll show you how to do it without your thumb if you can't reach and that's uncomfortable. The first way is to do it like this. And that's your 1st finger on the 6th string 2nd fret, so that's replacing where your thumb was. And then your 2nd finger on the 3rd string 2nd fret, like it was with the first option I showed you. And then your 3rd finger on the 2nd string 3rd fret, like the first option I showed you. And then with this one, you need to mute out the 5th string with your 1st finger. And the way you do that is to let your 1st finger go fairly straight. You know, you're not really on the tip of your finger like a lot of chords. You let it go flatter than normal, and it just gently rests on top of this 5th string and mutes that note out. Don't push down to get a note ringing out. You just have to barely touch it to keep it muted out. So this finger is going to be flatter than normal. And these other fingers will be arched at the knuckle. You don't want to make them to be flat like that at all. Those need to be arched and really on the tips of your fingers. And this one's not so much on the tip of your finger. It's more back here. You can see the crease in my finger. So that's the other option without your thumb. You just strum through all the strings if you're blocking out the 5th string. And the last option is the same thing, except you're switching your 3rd finger with your 4th finger. So your 4th finger is playing the 2nd string 3rd fret this time. And that just might be a little more comfortable to you. It just depends on your hand. Everyone's hands are different. So if you can do it with your thumb, you can do it with your thumb. A couple options there. If you can't do it with your thumb, do it with your finger. And there's a couple options there. And just whatever feels most comfortable to you. And if you'd like the diagram for this chord that shows how to finger it, and you can actually see it visually, you can click the link on the screen and it'll take you to an e-guide that you can download for free. And like I said, it has a diagram for this chord, but also has diagrams for a whole bunch of other beginner chords that you can learn, a bunch of open chords. And on top of that, it shows you how to put a lot of those open chords together into chord progressions so that they sound good. It shows you how to take different chords in that e-guide, put them together in different sequences to create nice sounding chord progressions. So it's a really useful e-guide. And if you'd like to get that for free, just click on the link on the screen and you can go download that. So that's a Dadd9 /F sharp.